I'm Dr. Mike Smith, and I'm on the greatest business stories of St. Louis, Missouri today. And I've got a special guest, David Phillips. David, tell us about your company, and we're going to hear a lot more about it.
Awesome. Thank you very much, Mike, for having me on today. We First of all, excuse me, they just literally started taking a tree down in front of the office.
It's all right. We can't hear
So
anything.
if you hear thuds or saws, that's what's going on. Um anyway, so my name is David Phillips, and I am the owner and president or whatever of Amicus IT. And what we do is we act as an outsourced IT department for small and mid-sized businesses. Really, any business with fewer than 100 people, and any business with fewer than 100 people. Um, and most of our clients don't have an internal IT department, but some of them do. A couple of them do, and we work hand in hand with those IT departments to supplement their service and support.
Great. So, David, tell us when did you start your business? How long have you been in business?
Oh, geez. So I started my business back in, I think it was 97. So we're coming up on 30 years.
It's amazing.
And we started it as Phillips Technology, and we were a straight IT consulting company. We were a break fix company. We didn't do the monthly service contracts at that point. Um, our first client was a uh, giant entertainment company in New York, and we were working with them, again, supplementing their IT department, acting as their IT department, and working with many of their Broadway shows.
Gotcha. So there's been quite an evolution, in technology and IT, and as you
Oh
said, the
yeah.
monthly subscription. That's kind of a whole new thing. So, tell us a little bit about your evolution over the last 30 years. Like, what's
Oh
your
geez.
from it?
Well, the biggest thing was my wife and I had a baby girl in New York, and we decided that it was a better place to raise kids was out in St. Louis, which is where she grew up. I grew up in New York City.
Okay,
So that was the biggest evolution of our business. We went from being Phillips Technology to being St. Louis IT Solutions.
okay,
And then about 3 or 4 years ago, we rebranded again to Amicus IT. Um, and really, we rebranded for a couple of reasons, which I don't know, maybe we'll get into later. But
sure.
the the biggest evolution in the industry has been the ability to do remote support reliably. We
Okay.
were doing remote support when we were back in New York, but it was a little bit chunky, a little bit clunky, and it was tough. And now with the tools that they have now, and with higher internet or faster internet speeds, we it's we can do remote support reliably to the point where we were able to keep many of our New York clients when we moved to St. Louis.
Gotcha. So, as you think about the evolution over a period of time, what's the number one thing that you've learned if you went back, some younger person's watching this and wanting to take some sage advice? What's the one or two things you would say were kind of aha moments that if you knew at the beginning, you would have changed that?
Um, so two things. Um, first thing is we would have implemented the monthly service agreements sooner. And the reason is uh, there's a bunch of different reasons. Primarily, there are two primary reasons. One, we are able to plan our budgets and where we can go every month and what services we can provide to our clients. And the other is that it gives our clients a reliable flat rate or almost flat rate IT so they can plan. So, you know, we really become their partners at that point. Back when we were doing break fix, it was, you sat there and the client was kind of watching his watch and saying, okay, you've been here for an hour, okay, you've been here for an hour and a half, this is costing me a fortune. Um, and now we're able to, have conversations, be actual partners, and the clients kind of simmer down. The second thing is, um, I joined about 3 or 4 years ago. I joined a peer group, um,
Okay.
and it's a peer group of other IT company owners, and
Mm-hmm.
we're geographically disparate, so we're non-competitive. Well, we are competitive, but not in not in the not in the same geography. Um, but and I joined that peer group. It's a group of about, I don't know, it fluctuates, but it's about ten business owners.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and it has been probably the single most important thing I have done for my business.
Oh, wow.
It's it's facilitated by um, a company that was started by IT business owners who had sold their businesses for millions and millions of dollars,
Mm-hmm.
and now they're consulting, and the peer and we meet as a peer group monthly.
Mm-hmm.
um and single most important thing I've done by far.
That's great. That was going to be one of the questions I asked, but that is a great point. As we also see, I'm not here to generation shame, right? But I look at our generation, we're kind of the last generation that really went to like the trade shows and the trade organizations and doing those things. And it seems that the newer generations say, I can find that on Chat GPT or I can go look that up when
Well,
really all the learning's about, sharing and having interactions with other people.
one of
Um, like
one of
something
the
you with yours, yeah.
Yeah, what one of the coolest things about the IT industry is that, even if you get us together with even competitors in the same market,
Right.
there is a kinship, or there is we all try to treat each other pretty well. And if somebody doesn't, they kind of get a reputation in the industry. We all, I know pretty much everybody by name or reputation in the industry. So, it's if you're not helpful, and that's really why we all get into this job, is to be
Right.
helpful.
Right.
You get a reputation.
Gotcha. So you've been in business for 30 years. So what gave you, as they call in the E-myth, that entrepreneurial seizure that said, I need to go on my own and start my own company? What led you there?
Wow. So there was nothing in particular. I grew up, my father's an entrepreneur.
Okay.
Um, my mom was an entrepreneur.
Gotcha.
So they both ran successful businesses. My father was in commercial real estate in New York, and my mom worked in the entertainment industry, as a location. She owned a location scouting company.
Right.
Um, so it was something that I always wanted to do. In fact, when I was a senior in college, I wrote my thesis about it's, as you said, it's become known as the entrepreneurial seizure.
Mhm.
But it was a paper. Um, we theorized that um, entrepreneurs are more likely to come from the outside of a company. So the further away you get from the back office, the more likely you are to have that entrepreneurial seizure. So a salesperson or a marketing person who's not working in the back office. It was an interesting paper. I don't know how true it is now.
Mhm.
But it's been in my blood. I mean, I think I've only ever worked for two other people, and
Oh,
one
wow.
one was a mouse. So
Yeah. That was a great
um,
experience. Great.
yeah.
Great. So where do you see your business head in the next 3 to 5 years? As you think about the changes and the trends, Because looking ahead 3 years in technology is looking like 10 years ahead in other industries, right? It's hard
Yeah,
to
it
read all
is.
that.
Um, I don't see the outside of our business changing very much.
Gotcha.
So the part that the public sees isn't going to change very much. It's we're still going to offer, a service and support for small and mid-sized businesses. The technology that the businesses use will change. One of the biggest changes clearly was AI. And how we do business on the inside is going to change, is in the process of changing right now. The nice thing about our business is that, you know, we support people. And people, it's not about the technology for us. They could be, using whatever, a shovel or
Mhm.
a computer's just a tool, but we help them use that tool. So we're not really about the technology necessarily and the innovations in technology. Those are just innovations in tools. We're about helping the people.
That's great. So being in business for 30 years and being married and moving across the country and child, I know that 2 year old, I think it's now in college when you and I talked the other day.
Yeah.
Um, Tell me how you balance your personal and your business life and
Oh,
keep
I don't
those.
know. um I don't know. There are times when the business needs attention. I look at the business as a child, really. And there are times that the business needs attention. There are times that it doesn't. My job is to build the business, create jobs for other people, and then kind of let it live and breathe. As you said, my daughter went off to college,
Mhm.
and we did the best we could,
Mhm.
brought her up, and then sent her off, on her own in a little, step down program where, we still care for her, and we still, take make sure that she's safe and taken care of, but at a distance. So, I think running a business is the same thing. There are times that it needs care and attention, and there are times that you can step away and say, okay, you know what? I can take hours off, or I can take days off. One of the biggest things we did was, when I hired that first employee 10 years ago, you know, it was a revelation, because all of a sudden I could actually take a vacation and put that out of my mind.
Wow, that was a big step.
Yeah.
It was not all dependent using the leverage. So speaking about teams, so you've got several team members there. So tell me how you, because the industry that you're in, I mean, the talent pool is always in demand, right? There's
Mhm.
very specialized skills. So tell me what kind of culture that you have and what kind of people you look for to keep them, to keep them with you.
So, we don't hire for skills. We hire for aptitude and attitude. And that's it. Somebody who has an interest and an
Mhm.
aptitude uh for IT or for learning, we can teach them the skills. The soft skills is what you can't teach.
Right.
Um, and we've had a, huge success with that. When I was working in New York, I hired contractors, and the talent pool there, since we were working in entertainment, the talent, or primarily in entertainment, we had a bunch of other clients, but our primary base was were Broadway production houses.
Mhm.
Um, you know, our the talent pool we leveraged were actors and actresses. They were folks who, needed flexibility in their schedule. They wanted to make money so they could survive, and
Mhm.
and they, if they had any aptitude for technology, it worked out great.
Right. Thank you for sharing that. So let me give you a few rapid fire questions as we wrap up here.
Yeah,
So what's your key to success? What's your one key to success?
stupidity. Nobody, nobody would, you know, it takes a rare breed of person to say, "Hey, I'm going to go out, start my own business, um and uh, you know, play without a safety net." Um, Having said that, or having quipped that, I think probably persistence. Um, just, you get knocked down and you say, okay, you know what? Let's try it this other way.
It's going to be, it's up to me, right?
What'd you
So,
say?
so if it's going to be, it's up to me,
That's
right?
right.
So
That's
that
right.
second question, I think that would be your answer. But what's the one piece of advice you would give a person who's wanting to start a business?
Oh,
I know the persistence
so
is a good. What else would you give
so
them?
the only piece of advice I would give somebody is do it. That's
Good.
it. I mean,
That's
you
great.
I've talked to people who've thought, oh gee, I've always wanted to start a business. Always wanted to do this. And I know this isn't really rapid fire. I'm
Oh,
talking too long. But um but it's a matter of just closing your eyes and jumping in and just doing it because it's the best thing in the world that you could do, even if you fail.
that's great. So if you could magically improve one part of your business, there's always, in business, there's different areas of the business, and there's always one that's probably favored, a few favored by you, and there's probably a few that's not. There's one area in your business that you can magically improve. What area would that be in?
Sales.
That's good. Very good.
Yeah.
So I was going to embarrass you a little bit because I looked at your website and I understand there's a book available. Can you
There
share the name of
is.
that book? Yeah, if you've got it available to show it to the crowd here because,
I
um,
I do because you asked me to have it available.
yeah,
It's
there you
it's
go.
called it's called Fished, and I think it's coming up backwards there. Um,
Yeah.
but it's a it's a it's a story about a client that we got
Mhm.
after this story happened. It's actually a true story.
Oh,
Um,
wow.
and it's a story about a client who was fished. It's a
Wow.
fictionalization of that story, but it's almost true. um, so yeah,
Well,
and it was really a sad story. The only reason that it was they were able to get their money back. The
oh,
thieves
wow.
were really dumb.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's amazing. I just going back to that fish, how easy it is today. And I know that you probably
Oh
provide
yeah.
some education, but I teach a graduate class and I was in a new class starting and had a new team lead. And all of a sudden you're invited to a team's group. And I went in and looked at all of it and outlook.com and clicked it and boom, I got my hand slapped and I had to go take a training course. So how those work. Makes you never click on anything else
Well,
anymore.
what's what's interesting about that is, so the way we and this is I'm gonna blatantly promote our business because what the hell.
Yeah.
The way we come up with our services is we base our services, our cybersecurity services, on the questionnaires that businesses get from their cybersecurity insurance companies. So
Oh,
we're able to go down the list and check because we know that this is how we've built our services. And what's interesting, Mike, is the 5 years, less than that, 3 years ago, there was the questionnaires were 1 page long, and there was no mention of the human element. Now the questionnaires are about 5 or 6 pages long, and the first question out of the gate is, for most of them, is do you provide cybersecurity training for your employees?
oh,
Um,
wow.
and it's been a sea change in how uh, the insurance industry and the public is looking at small business cybersecurity, which is great.
That's great. That's a great it's a great way to tell that because it's almost like when I was worked at a company that was highly we work with the most highly regulated companies in the world. So it's almost like you're doing a compliance with them. Like these are all the things we do and our services are based around that. So we will keep you compliant.
Well,
That's
yeah, we do that as well, and we can't market that baseline service as a compliance service, but it's based on industry industry regulation in insurance
yeah,
yeah.
requirements. That's great. All right. So we're both do a lot of networking. So tell us who your ideal referral partner would be.
Um our ideal, so we work with I keep describing it as the plurality of our clients are attorneys.
Okay.
Um so our best referral partners, we work well with all professionals, so attorneys, financial, and accountants. Um, our best referral partners are those three groups. They
Gotcha.
all know each other. We work well with them. We actually, we really love working with attorneys. Uh, because they see the value in IT and they see the
Mhm.
value in technology. So, attorneys and accountants are typically our best referral partners, and those are probably our best prospects as well. Um,
Gotcha.
uh, and then also the third one, because I've got to get it in there, is voice over IP providers.
Oh,
For some reason, they sell phone service. But they don't do the networking behind the phone service to make the phone service
gotcha.
work smoothly. So
Gotcha. Well, it's been a great interview. I greatly appreciate that. And as we wrap up here, go ahead and give us, your company name and give us an overview of what you do and how they can get a hold of you. And more importantly, if they want to download the book or get a copy of the book,
yeah,
that'd be
sure.
great.
So again, I'm David Phillips. I own Amicus IT or Amicus IT Solutions. Either one works. You can get a hold of us by going to amicusit.net, and you'll find a place to order the book there. It's free. Um, and we provide IT services, or excuse me, IT solutions for people and not computers. Um, so we are excited to be living and working in St. Louis. I've been here for 14 years, so
Mhm.
it almost feels like I'm a native, except I can't answer the question, where'd you go to high school?
I know. I'm from Indiana. I answer the question that confuses everyone.
Yeah.
Um, Talking to you. Thank you. And thanks for spending today with us. Good luck in your business and we look forward to seeing you again.
Thanks so much, Mike. Thank you so much. This has really been fun.
Okay. All right. We're done. All right. All right. Anything else you want to know? Any questions you have?
No, thank you, really.
No,
I enjoyed doing
it'll,
it.
it'll be good. And I think you'll like the results because it'll give you, we'll go through when I get it, we get them, I'll email you and I'll talk to you, each week as we're going through that so you can see how to use them. When we do the Facebook post, we basically do, even the LinkedIn, is we actually take it, but we give you 5 titles. So we tell you to post it once with one title, put it in the to-do box, wait a few weeks, post it again, you can change a little bit, and then use another title,
Oh,
and then
cool.
you get so you're redoing because only certain people are going to read them.
Right, right, right.
All right, very good. Thank you very much, and have a great day.
Awesome.
Have a great week.
Hey, have a great
Thanks.
weekend, Mike.
All right, thank you very much.